Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video. So every celebration these days, Minato does this little like thread right here, which I really like, and it's a good way for us to, kind of like, how do I word this? Not let people forget like what the celebration is actually like, right? Like, so kind of like, as soon as we leave the celebration, kind of like, it is like initial thoughts on some of these characters, but like, like Golden Frieza and Gogeta have been out for like a month, for example, right? So that way, when, in 2 years, when people go, well, actually, the TDC was like super kick ass. And it's like, well, I mean, the main two LRs I think were pretty good, but wasn't a lot here. So now the TDC is essentially, I mean, certainly they did take some stuff from what was Tanabata, now has become TDC, and I think moved it to the GDC. Like, the GDC did get a little bit of it, but certainly in 2026, if we're going to do a TDC again, I would hope it would be much improved from this. My main gripe would be lack of characters. I think that we did not get enough. No way. I mean, nowadays, let's just not count Kid Vegeta for now. We got, what, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 characters, and this is basically from, let's look at these two Dokkan Fest releases. So we got 6 characters, not counting the one free-to-play character, which is kind of, like, I mean, almost irrelevant to the celebration. August 28th to September 30th. So it's a full month, and we like did not get much. That is like a major issue. To me, I think the celebration would have been largely redeemed, just like the Broly movie worldwide download celebration was last year, when kind of like as the celebration was ending, they dropped 2 EZAs that were top 5 units in the game. All right, and they also dropped 2 fights, which were 2 of the hardest fights in the game. Right, so now content is a tricky thing. Like, Dokkan spams content, and people kind of just say, like, there's no content, even though it's not true. And then it's like people get, like, I don't, like, it becomes a mess. Regardless, 2025 has got, I would guesstimate, about 3 times as much content as 2024 overall had. They have spam stages. GDC in particular is probably our best content celebration ever, maybe? I mean, we could definitely do like a celebration comparison. Maybe 9th anniversary wins out, but like it's probably close. 10th anniversary had a lot too, but certainly the fights were not as well received, right? Okay, so let's jump in. So remember, the way these threads are structured is we see the character and then people could vote. Yeah, I mean, these results look pretty good. Good 7 or 8 seems to have a high number to me. 38%? That's a substantial number. Obviously, I voted great. I think that this character is, to me, like one of the best designed characters in Dokkan history. The thing is, they are a character that, does work well. I mean, again, like we're looking at Dokkan Twitter tweet to make a video, so understand, like, we're talking about the opinions of Dokkan Twitter here. Dokkan Twitter does like to bait with this character, the Golden Frieza part specifically, a lot. It's pretty easy to do so, right? Because Golden Frieza, he is generating quite literally all of his power from this, right? So it's like he needs to be in slot 1 unless you're going to use the active. Although for me, I would always want to prioritize the Gogeta active if I can, right? I found that their own team, this character is outrageously, ludicrously powerful. Certainly, though, depending upon some of the other setups we run them on, like a full villain team, this character feels a little bit subparish, I guess you could say. A little. They do work well on Omega's team. But, remember, if you're on a full villain team, you cannot use Gogeta's active skill. So that hurts, because Gogeta's active is easily one of the strongest parts about this character's kit. Gogeta is very, very powerful, right? It's also nice with this character. They start flooding the field with orbs too, which is very nice. I don't know. I am very favorable to this character. This Golden Frieza, like right in the GDC fights, right away. So like turn 1, slot 1. This guy can take some damage because he does have this. Now, the good news for this Golden Frieza and his design is that he does build up defense if he dodges. When the proc we need is guard is activated, if the character's guarding, which Golden Frieza will be, a dodge would trigger this. So it's, to me, I always felt like, giving this character raw defense and a full dodge build drastically improved his survivability, which is true, because I've had limited times where this Golden Frieza has gotten body bagged, right? But it does make his active skill damage turn weaker. But it makes Gogeta stronger, right? Giving him even more dodge. So, it's a little bit of a yin and yang, but I would consider this one of the better designed characters, just flat out in Dokkan history, right? Next we have Int Vegeta. So, Int Vegeta. This is a classic character. I would call this would be like the Int Broly theory, like the legendary Super Saiyan Int Broly from 2024. I thought his kit was a little bit of a mess in Broly, but in practice, I mean, he just dominates the fucking game, right? This Vegeta's got a similar thing going on, where I think his kit is a bit of a mess, but it doesn't change the fact that he's jumping out, and a lot of times he's going to be having, like 80% touch, right? So it just gives you a higher chance to win running this guy, especially on Movie Hero Movie Bosses compared to most of those Movie Hero Movie Bosses characters, all right? So it's just, like, it's just that simple, right? Like, he's an 80% dodge character versus characters who have guard and damage reduction and die instantly in, like, the Goku Black fight, right? And, I mean, it's a big thing. During the celebration, it was the Movie Hero plus Movie Bosses team were running with this character, and we didn't get enough options for the team. So it felt pretty bad for the most part of it. I like this Vegeta. I mean, I think they could have kept him exactly the same, maybe, and then also tacked on Movie Hero and Movie Bosses support or something. I don't see why they couldn't have done that. Right, I think that would have been sick if he just 2 key, 30% attack and defense to Movie Hero and Movie Bosses just as a fourth line in his basic effects. Simply put, I would like him a lot better. Like, he would be pretty good at that point, because 80% dodge, support, and he's orb changing like crazy. But again, not the biggest fan of his kit, but he's really good. Underwhelming, they're smoking dick. No offense, but you're smoking dick if you call this guy underwhelming, right? Like, we've played this game before. Like, it's his kit, like, is weird, but he just gets the job done. Like, at a certain point, it's like who gives a fuck what we're thinking? Does he get the job done? Yes or no? Right? Like, with Int Broly, the answer to that question was yes, he gets the job done. With this Int Vegeta, the answer to the question is yes, he gets the job done. So I'd say good, like an 8, like a strong 8 to me, or 7. Nah, I gotta give him an 8, dude, because it's like, I mean, bro, like, let's compare Vegeta. Load, thanks. To Baby Trunks. Vegeta gets a strong 8 from me. I'll give him a strong 8. I honestly, with Baby Trunks in mind, maybe Vegeta's a fucking 10, dude. Golden Frieza, we don't need to talk at all about this guy. Hard 10. I would probably say one of the stronger EZAs we've ever seen out of a non-anniversary Dokkan Fest. Remember, when talking about EZAs, I'm really going to start emphasizing this. You must exclude the anniversary EZAs from this. So I'm talking, we're not comparing their EZAs to just random Dokkan Fest EZAs. You're going to drive yourself crazy if you do that. We're also not comparing, their EZAs to random. You're going to drive yourself crazy doing that. Okay. This Golden Frieza, incredible. I could not, like, it's Dokkan Twitter, like, the whole point is the rage bait, I guess, right? Like, it's, a rage bait carnival is what Dokkan Twitter is. But, like, this guy is just so dominant with that strong defense right away. He can get to the point where he could do some decent damage. I just really don't need to talk about this guy. This guy really sticks out in this celebration as, like, a god of a unit in a celebration that barely had any characters, right? Like, it's pretty crazy. He's a 10 out of 10. The fact that there's even, that this is anything like this, you are insane if you call this character good. Like, this is an elite EZA. It's insanity. In Vegeta, I mean, I don't, like, there's not really, I just gave him underwhelming. I don't know, like a 4, 5, 6. There's just not really much to say, right? Like, I think specifically, like, in this specific situation, for a free-to-play character, he'd be decent. But it's, again, in that specific situation, I mean, I love the idea of, awakening. Like, look at this. October 29th, 2015. And then, boom. Now he gets, then 10 fucking years later, he gets awakenings. How sick is that? I love that. That gives me, like, faith, like, more faith in the game. When 10 years later, we're giving out awakenings. That's a W. That's a major W. So I do like that. But, obviously, not crazy. Wrath Broly. Wrath Broly's a little bit difficult to discuss. I would give him a 7 or 8. You could go with a 7 here. I think a 7 is fine. I think a 9 or a 10 is probably overdoing it a bit. I would want to go back and see what I gave Vegeta and Trunks. Although, I mean, I guess the thing is Vegeta and Trunks, like, have to go in slot 1. Or else they're kind of, like, fishy. Whereas this Broly obviously does not have to go in slot 1. But, I mean, he just has... If we look at him from the lens of what is he designed to do? And it's ass fuck festival battles. Does he do that? The answer is yes. So, like, he is a success, but, I mean, he can be clapped up pretty badly in GDC fights, right? And, a lot of people, I mean, again, I think it's more of a Dokkan Twitter thing. Like, they're just like, they're very loud and wrong a lot of times with opinions. I mean, disliking festival is not like a wrong, like, I get that. Because, like, 3 hours and you lose towards the end, and it's just like, well, fuck me, right? Like, I totally, like, empathize, sympathize, whatever. Like, I get it. Like, that makes sense. But, like, people try to, like, oh, it just doesn't exist. I'm just not even counting it. Well, I mean, that's silly. Because they're releasing characters for, like, so, like, if you want to pretend festival doesn't exist, then this guy's, like, a 0 out of 10. Because you're intentionally ignoring what his purpose is, right? Which is to destroy festival battles. And he does a great job with that. Again, he can be caught pretty nastily in GDC because he is kind of designed, right, to turn 1, slot 1, go slot 1. Like, he's designed to just immediately go in slot 1 and get hit a couple of times, get additionals, and then you're pumping out supers, you're stacking attack and defense, and then for every attack performed, your defense goes up, and then on his second turn, you have a really great active skill, which gives you a scouter, gives you a massive active skill defense, pretty good. But, you could easily have him die consistently in festival battles. Or, no, excuse me, in GDC fights. Festival battles, he completely dominates. So knowing everything about him, I'd give him, a 7 or an 8. 7 or 8 is probably about where I stand with this Wrath Broly. Pretty good, though. Pretty good. All right, so Super EZA Broly. I gave him... this guy's a 7 to me. He can show up, and he can do really good damage. Because, he's going to probably be critting a lot of the times, or have a very good chance to crit. He's going to give you at least 2 guaranteed supers. I've found that with this up, he's really good. But, like, once you don't have this, like, or if he doesn't get a chance to use this, not as impactful as I'd like. He feels like he could have used a little bit more defense. Just a little bit more defense, man. So, like, I don't know what, but maybe just, like, give him, like, another... So he does have this. I don't know, man. Maybe up this percentage would have made him feel a little bit better. Like, he feels a little glass cannon-y to me if this is not up. And that's the problem. The one issue I have with him. And it's like, I will always be more favorable to, defensive characters that can't do damage than offensive characters that can't tank because, you'll still survive with a defense character that does no damage, but an offensive character that can't tank just dies. And that did happen quite a bit with this guy, but also AoEs in some of these fights right now can be pretty good. Although, I guess they also against Goku Black could be pretty bad. But I've found that AoEs, like, if you mix an AoE character, like, onto the Omega Shenron team, though. I mean, the strat I've found that works best with Omega Shenron's team is you focus fire Goku Black anyway. And Broly can help with that as well, with the AoEs and stuff. So, yeah, so there's that with him. And then we have the EZA base Broly. I would give him an underwhelming. I mean, but a strong, but a strong underwhelming. I'd give him a 6. He could do some stuff, right? He's got some orb changing is always helpful. I've found him to be pretty effective after he attacks. Certainly we do have, like, it's just like, you know, like, there's a lot of bosses that are locking and AoEs, like, they're, like, everywhere, right? It's just like Pan. Like, Pan is, like, really good, like, as long as there's no locking and AoEs, but, like, locking and AoEs are literally fucking everywhere. Like, you can't, like, hide from them, and that's kind of a similar issue that hits Broly, but, I felt like, he's solid. Again, a 6. I do have him at underwhelming, but it definitely on the high end of underwhelming. Like, I can understand some goods right here. If he's able to just sit there and, like, slot 3, like, you know, he can impact the team positively because he is orb changing too, which is good. So, and then this is exactly the problem with the celebration. That's it. Like, if it does feel to me like this would have been fine if it's like, okay, we get past him, and now we're moving on to the kings of the game right now, currently. LR, SDR Cooler, and Tech Super Saiyan Goku. Or look, dude, unbelievable gods of the game. EZA Orange Piccolo and Physical Ultimate Gohan. He's number 1. The EZA is so crazy. But they didn't do that. So, you know. So, character kits. Yeah, like a 7. Okay, Minato said kits, right? He didn't say how good was the TDC, which I would say is bad. But, like, how good are character kits? I mean, if we go through it, I like their kit. Like, let's just do thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up. I mean, I have to do thumbs up. I don't like the way he's designed, but he gets the job done. So I don't want to be too harsh, especially compared to other banner units. Like, let's compare this guy to fucking Champa. Baby Trunks, right? Like, I can't, like, it's pointless to hate on this guy when he can actually do shit, right? Thumbs up. I mean, maybe, let's just throw a thumbs down right there. I'd give him a thumbs up. I could go either way with these two. I could do thumbs up or thumbs down with both of them. Right? Like, I don't know. We'll just give him a thumbs down. We'll give him a thumbs up, right? We'll just do that. It's like most of these characters are, like, kind of like thumbs up. But it's just, there just wasn't enough. Like, now, at this point, you know, even I would fall into the basket of, you know, like, Dokkan did kind of spoil us this year. Like, they were just, you know, edging us. And we're ready for this, like, massive release with the final, like, major celebration of the year, basically. And then they just, like, left us hanging. It's like, whoa, Amatsu, man. Are you going to finish us or what, man? So, I mean, maybe the carnival will be super sick at the end of December. Right? Like, it's about the best we could hope for. So, let me know what you guys think of the TDC characters. Right, Celebration overall, I'd say, is not really that good. But again, at least the character kits, I do think, were quite good.